all the designs that are built into the machine, even the lettering or the designs that you bring over from your computer, you've downloaded from the internet, or you've purchased on a CD, can all be sized, moved, rotated, and mirrored. So we're just going to take a design that's one of the built-in designs. I am going to pick something that is not symmetrical so you can really see as I go to flip it around. Let's do this one here. That's really pretty, actually. You'll notice that if you take time to stitch out some of these, they're going to be a lot prettier on your fabric than they will be on the screen. So everything that we're talking about is going to happen in the eye for information, and we're going to use a lot of these knobs here to make our changes. So for the first one, for moving a design, you can touch and move it on screen. You can kind of hear my hoop is actually on, so it's moving it side to side very quickly. This would put it back into the center. But another thing that we can do is even touch, if we want it to kind of clear out, we can touch anything that is yellow and it will go back to its default setting. So instead of you trying to get it back to the exact 0 number, why don't you just touch it and it will go back. Now for very fine increments, left or right or up or down, notice I'm using the stitch width and stitch length knobs to do just that. Once I go outside the hoop will turn red, indicating to get back inside the playground here. And then I know that I am going to be able to embroider that design. If I touch the eye at the back at the top here, it just kind of takes me back one level. So for sizing, let's say this design, I didn't want it so big. I can turn either one of these knobs, that's why both the knobs are showing here, and reduce it down. And the stitch density, I should say, the amount of stitches it will take to stitch this design will be reduced. So I love the fact that Bernina will do this. Same thing if I go up above the normal size, it will add the stitches in to make it increase the amount of stitches as I've increased the design size. So that is a really nice option there. Again, I'm going to touch the eye back here. We'll kind of go back one level. We can mirror image this left or right. You can see it flipping. We can also go up or down. Notice that these curly cues will land at the bottom versus the top. And if I turned all the mirror images on, I would have all 4 options. So from north, east, south, or west, you can make this design flip any direction that you want. So I'm going to just take those off. So we've moved it, we've mirror imaged it, we've sized it, now to rotate it. When you go into the rotation, you once again, if you touch your screen, it will just move it around. So use the knobs to twist and get 1 degree rotation. So if you can get it to pop right into position. But if you just need it to rotate 90 degrees, of course that's going to put it outside the hoop, but touch it again, now it's 180 degrees, twisted, and then we can keep on going. Most of the time when you take a design, lettering for example, you're turning it 90 degrees. It's very rare I actually need it to go at an angle, but it is nice to have 1 degree increments. If I just need to kind of twist that into position, maybe I'm trying to fill in with something else around it, and I just need to kind of give it a little whirl as I'm going. So rotation is super easy, whether you do 1 degree or 90 degree rotation. I'm going to put that back to 0, but everything is done right here in the eye for information, and anything that you do is going to be turned to yellow, and then that way you'll know what you've changed it to. If you want to even write down some of these settings that you can do, you can even save this. So let's say I've reduced this down and I want to save it, touch the folder at the top and then come in and save it into the heart, and it will allow me to save it and keep those settings, whether it's mirror imaged or sized, and then I'll go ahead and do that. If I want to see where I've saved it, you come all the way back and touch the heart, and there it is at the reduced size that we last had it at. So play around with those functions. You can take any design and make it bigger or smaller, left or right, mirror image, up or down, and have complete control over your designs.